Now, on a side note, I have decided to do the hair color as well as the skin color. So I have a couple of different sketchy drawings of my original painting. This will be a separate video, but if you watch the other video, I made it for you, so you don't have to wait. All right, so basically we want to start off with maybe a darker light tone skin. So I've got white. Oops, that's Mod Podge. I've got white, and I've got my brown, and I'm just going to quickly clean off my brush. I've got a little bit of pink on there. I do not want pink on there. All right. I see a little bit of glitter. It's always fun. Glitter makes you smile. Unless it's in your car and your carpet and you can't get it out ever. But, all right. Scoop of white, and I'm going to touch into the brown. Now this is another way you can make a light skin tone. If I just take a touch and I mix it together, it's just slightly browner, but it's still very close to that pink color. And if I take another touch, I can swirl it together. I can get a little bit darker as well. Now, if you notice, this is an awful lot like makeup, and we know our skin tone best. There's variations for everybody. And if you know, no color at the makeup counter can ever fully match. That's why we contour. That's why we highlight. But you kind of want to sort of match your color best you can. You know, it's not great coverage for makeup, although if you want to try acrylic paint for makeup, you go for it. Probably won't feel very good, and will probably also peel off your skin. So anyway, so this is just a bit of a darker kind of pink tone. So that's another skin color shade. And yeah, you just want to go ahead and add this base color, and then when you're shading or highlighting, take that base color, and for shading, add a little maybe touch of black or even purple. We'll get there. And then for highlighting, it could be, or it could just be brown too, that works. But for highlighting, it can also be just the white. All right, so that's maybe summer look. I don't know. It's up to you. Again, whatever skin tone matches you best, you go for it. All right, so I have maybe just using the brown. That could be a nice tone. Although I think I want to touch into a little bit of white for this. So really, I think I'm just going to add a scoop to the side of my previous mixed color. And that's going to give you a little bit more of a mocha color. Again, matching it with makeup best you can. Alright, so that's a little bit more of a mocha color. And you can go darker and darker if you wish. And that's another base. And then I've got 4 more. So even darker at this point. So I'm going to add a little touch of black to my brown. Not a lot, just a very, very little, although I do need a little more brown because I wasn't anticipating mixing these colors for you, but here you go. I thought it was a good idea. And if you're learning, this is a good way to kind of learn. So I'm teaching you, so just one more thing. All right, you guys, so I'm going to take a big old scoop of brown and I'm going to touch into the black and just make it a little darker. Maybe one more touch of black. And maybe even more. So you can also make it darker as far as, I mean, this is kind of the upgrade from the previous mix, but if you want to make it darker so it's more of a chocolate brown, just keep mixing it like you would makeup. If you find yourself frustrated mixing the color of the skin, stop, clean your brush, breathe, and then remix it. Of course, you can also buy skin color paint if you want. That's another option, but you can also buy skin color paint. All right, so this is just more of a darker mocha, or I'm sorry, more of a chocolate brown. And that's the color we have for that. All right, so that is another color. And of course, if you want to make an alien color that has a slight green or blue hue to it, anyway, you kind of get the gist. I have the original one that I'm creating that's very light compared to this one. And you can go different degrees in between depending on, you know, mixing it like you would makeup. And then we've got a little bit darker. And I've got even darker. And if you want to do purple skin, you could do purple skin. It's really up to you. But yeah, let's see, she's a little pink. So I'm going to make a darker light color. So I'm going to take a scoop of white, a dab of yellow, and a little dab of pink. I'm going to mix that together. And if you notice, see, that went very, very red. So that is not what we wanted. I'm going to touch into a little bit more yellow and tone that down so it comes back to an orange, really close to the edge there. And if you notice, it's very similar to the brown that we mixed. So it's just slightly pinker. But we can tone this down. So let's try to touch into a little bit of brown and a little bit of white. And go in between. And this was my original mix that we did on the canvas. Maybe even a little bit more brown. So it's lighter than this, although it still feels pink. So I'm going to add a little bit more yellow. It becomes a little bit more of a golden color. Okay, that's pretty actually. It becomes more of a golden color. So it's just a little bit darker than the original painting that I'm doing. Whoops. No, right. And there is the skin color for that. So again, if you notice, it's just a little bit warmer than the porcelain This is winter. This is maybe more summer-ish. This is maybe I got a little burnt. I don't know. But once you have your base color on, like I do feel this one's a little bit too pink. You can kind of warm it up a little. I'm touching into a little bit more of the brown with that previous color that I had, and I think it's the brown it just feels a little too pink. So I'm just going to go back over with this mixture that I created that makes it feel a little bit more of a nice brown tone. But again, you can play with all the different colors to create your different tones, and everyone's skin's different, so you do the best you can do. All right, so that feels a little bit better, a little less pink. All right, very nice. Okay, so for hair, let's see. I want to do, oh, maybe we'll do like a light brownish blonde on this. So I'm going to clean off my brush and create a base light brown. So I'll take a little touch of white and a big scoop of brown, and let's see, maybe a little tiny touch of black. A little more of an, oh, there we go. You kind of have to just play with the color. Again, with hair color, it's the same. You know, everyone has different hair colors, so we have kind of a nice base brown. Now again, you can have any hair color that you would like. It's really up to you, but we're going for a nice brown color. All right, so yeah, so that's one. You can even do like a auburn maybe, or kind of a redheady color. Sometimes that one's challenging. All right, I think I'm gonna take a little bit of yellow and a little touch of red and maybe a little touch of brown and swirl that together. I'm even feeling maybe a touch more of brown. Ooh, that's pretty. Just to kind of create almost like a burnt orange. So it is a pretty hair color. Kind of like Ariel. That is a very pretty color. And of course, if you have multicolor hair, there's you pick. But these are just basic hair colors that most women have had over the years. So, all right, so we've got like a light brown, we've got kind of a reddish one. Let's go into maybe a little bit of a darker brown. So, the color that we have for this actually would be quite pretty. So let's try that. A little bit of a darker color. All right, let's create a darker brown. I'm going to take a little bit of black and go into that previous brown mix that I just used. And we'll go ahead and add that to it. And it's the same hairstyle for all of them. But you could change up the hairstyle. You can make it however you want. Totally up to you. Just means changing the lines. So those are the different colors of skin and hair. Now we want to go ahead and maybe highlight some of the hair and some of the skin. I think I will start with this one. I think this is the driest, and then I think I went to this one, and then this one. All right, so this one will have some, maybe blonde highlights. I'm just gonna add a little touch of white and a little touch of that raw sienna color. Maybe just a little tiny touch of brown. All right. And I'm gonna just kind of do the same thing where I just add some little streaks to kind of denote the contour of the head, or the hairstyle, I should say. And if you overdid it as far as painting in the highlights, just go back over with your base color. There it is. And just soften it up. You can also add a little bit of shadow in this as well. So you can add a little touch of black to the edge of, say, your base color. And that can also give you a little bit of a shadow here and there. It's really up to you what you would like for it to what you would like for it to look like. But we're just creating lines with contours. So that's another way to do it. Over here, we've got a little bit of a lighter or a darker brown. So maybe we'll add some golden contours to this. I'm just taking maybe both yellows and a touch of the brown. See what kind of good we can get for this. We can also add this same color, maybe the red. Pretty subtle though, you don't really see it on either color, but that's okay. It's just going to give it a little bit of a warmness to it. Alright, I'm going to go back into that mixture that I created for the shadow on this one. You just go into a little bit of the black. I'm just going to streak through and just kind of create that different colors that are in the hair. All right, for the red, I think I'm going to add a little touch of red and a little touch of brown and mix those together. Maybe 2 touches of brown. Just have a little bit of a reddish, brownish tone in there. Of course, you can also just use brown. That works too. Or you can use them both. That works as well. We're just adding different colors to the hair to make it look like a hairstyle. All right, so now we have a darker brown, a very dark brown. And so I'm going to add that base color and maybe just a touch of white off to the side. We want to be careful not to get it too gray, but I've used the base color and a little touch of white, and then the base color actually has some browns. So it's not totally gray hair, it should be the highlighted color of the base color. So it's just kind of how the light sort of plays off the hair. So you're just streaking it in so it doesn't look so flat. And it's really up to you how much highlight you want to put on or not. It's really completely up to you. All right, so as far as the shading, let's see, for this one, we're just going to go back into, let's see, our base color. I'm going to add maybe just a touch of brown to that base color. Oops, that's a lot. And then we can use this to kind of create our little shoulder blades. You can soften it up. I think I used the wrong color. And if we want to shade that underneath the arm, you can with this color, or maybe even in the back of the neck, maybe there's a little shadow there. Really up to you. And it just gives it a little more dimension. All right, I think with this one, probably be able to do the same thing. Just a little bit of brown into that original mix. And then we'll just do the same thing when it comes to shading under the arm. Just a little bit of brown to the previous base mix. All right, and we'll do that for this. So this one, we'll add a little bit more brown to the mix. And for this, same thing. Although this one, we need to add a little bit more black to the mix so that it stands out because it's a shadow. All right, and then we might want to highlight. So now we're back to this one. So maybe we want to highlight on the shoulder there. We're going to take our basic color and touch into a little bit of white and just lighten up that color that was originally our base. And then we'll just add a little light line, say down the side of the shoulder or on the side of the neck. For this one, we'll do the same thing. I'm going to find our base color and add a little touch of white to it. And again, it's just taking that base color and just kind of lightening it up. All right, so this one, same thing. You just take your base color and add a little touch of white. Not too much. And I'm just trying to blend it in with the previous color, but it should just give you a little bit of a highlight. And we'll do the same for this. Oops, wrong brush. And we'll just add a little bit of white to that. Okay, so there you have it. We have 4 different types of skin color and we have 4 different types of hair. Technically 5 if you choose to watch the other video, with blonde and maybe a little bit more of a porcelain skin. But if you are doing the other painting and you want to see how to do other colors of the skin or other hairstyles or colors, then you found it. So hopefully you found this video instructional, or you learned something from this video. And if you have, please give a thumbs up, please like, please share, please subscribe, and I'll keep them coming and you'll learn more fun tips and tricks. But anyway, you guys, there you have it. That is how to do different color skin and different color hair.